This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
This is Manchester 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 United we're talking about.
Oh, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about. Manchester United we're talking about here.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
And this is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. It's Man United we're talking about. It is Man United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. This is Man United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about.
We're talking about Manchester United.
Yes, people, this is Manchester United we're talking about, right? If you didn't hear for the last minute in that video. But look, man, big up if you've come over from whichever channel. Appreciated much from Alice as well. Smash the likes. Likes are super important. You know what it does for videos. It puts you beyond so you can go and get more subscribers, more viewers, all of that good stuff. Everything that helps content creators get a little bit more gassed. But if you don't know, I'm pretty sure you do. We're not all slow, right? You have seen it. We're not getting Gyökeres. We're not getting Gyökeres anymore. And you know what? That means a lot of you might actually be over the moon. If you don't know, though, this is my channel. And please smash the subscription button if you want to see more content, or just for me in general. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be... Yeah, don't worry, Sean, by the way. Don't worry about that. I thought he was going to be done a bit earlier, but it's all good. Don't worry. I appreciate it, though, man. I love for that, man. It looks like we're going to have to go and focus on Ollie Watkins. It looks like we're going to have to go and focus maybe on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Since people, we are linked, right? We got linked by Reluctant Nico, whoever the hell that is, by the way. I've seen his name around. But when you're seeing your rivals, if you can even consider them rivals anymore, that you have for the first day of the season, in the first match, I didn't see this. I can't lie. I put my neck on the line thinking we're going to get Gyökeres. I can't believe it. I'm absolutely fuming inside. You might have saw a never a foul. I was distraught. An absolute baller of a signing for Arsenal, though. An absolute serious candidate. And you're seeing Kudus going potentially over to Spurs as well. And last time they got a player off of West Ham, he was an absolute cold player. And he's actually my favourite player pretty much of all Premier League era, because I looked up to him, which was Scott Parker. Brilliant player. And no one really knows that. So, yeah. Don't ask why. He's not even I know he's not one of the best, but I just like the way he plays was just, yeah, I just love. That's how I used to play when I was obviously a little bit younger as well. And that's pretty much going to be the Mbeumo signing. And you know what? Ghana's not even in the club. What's it called? They're not even at AFCON this year. That means he's got to have a whole stretch. Anyways, not to do with Man United. I saw that we had links of being interested in Kudus, but that was probably for the whole, in case Mbeumo didn't happen. But it's a class signing. Both clubs in North London are getting class signings. And if you can get over Chelsea, that's a big W for Spurs, because them having a transfer battle or accelerating a deal to get over the line as quick as possible, they have PTSD. But for us, Gyökeres has prioritized Arsenal. But I've already said before, if we go for Watkins and they go for Gyökeres, as long as we get a good Watkins price and we still go and get somebody else, I'm still happy with that. I'm still happy with it in Mbeumo Watkins. But it kind of limits our options. Osimhen looks like he's going to go to Juventus. It doesn't look like Manchester United are going to go down that route. Douglas Luiz we're going to talk about as well. Looks like we're going to go in for him from what Matteo Moretto said a little bit earlier, and we'll go through that. Richard Ríos is actually on the agenda, so that's another good alternative as well. So things are moving, but not moving quick enough. When you're seeing your counterparts going to get Gyökeres, Zubamendi's getting announced. They're looking like Rodrigo or Madueke, whatever you want to call him as well. Obviously, his name's Madueke. Is going to get a move on. Liverpool are going to shift to the striker option, which is Ekitike. So that's another one that we can't do. Can you stop the silly meme at the beginning? No. You could just skip 1 minute, or you can just pause it for 1 minute. And obviously, you're seeing Chelsea doing whatever they're doing. Look, United need to hurry up. They need to hurry up, because this Mbeumo haggling over 5 million is absolute bollocks. Yeah, we should have moved on to this striker situation ages ago. Yeah, and we're talking about sales. I've had enough of sales. Sales are pissing me off. And all of a sudden, A1 window for Arsenal, A1 window for flipping Man City, A1 for Liverpool, and before you know it, how about this? Tottenham are probably going to get Kudus and a second player before we get a second player. That's the reality. That is the reality. And you know what? We'll see. It goes to show I'm still patient because we still need sales out the door before we can go line up anybody else. But it's in Mbeumo. So if it's not wrapped up by next week, it's got a serious. Someone needs to get sacked. Someone needs to get sacked. I'm being so honest. This is what happens, yeah, when you leave someone with relatively no experience. And I'm sorry, I have to say it. Jason Wilcox as your director of football. He's had a bit of experience at Southampton. You signed Dan Ashworth, who's had bigger jobs, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I think he done a horrible thing. You know, he let flipping what's his name in the door still, Eric Ten Hag and the rest of them, rubbish. But this is why you go and get the best in class. I'm sorry, Wilcox should have been a technical director still, and you still should have got Vivell. Don't get me wrong, but you should have got someone who was the best in class. He's not the best in class, and not just that. Matt Hargreaves is proven to be a bunch of shite. Couldn't get the Cunha stuff down, milked down a little bit, watered down, so we can stretch the fee, right? And you can't do it for Mbeumo either. So Matt Hargreaves must be quite shit at negotiating. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't go full throttle about not having his Gyökeres, yeah? Because if he wanted Arsenal, it was always going to be the case. But I wanted him. Because we could have moved on there and maybe changed his mind this whole time since Arsenal been dilly-dallying over their signings. It should have been happening ages ago. We can't rebuild fuck all. This is sackable offences right now. I'll be real. Now United need a bit of a move. It's very frustrating. I'm still for in you. I'm still all for that. I'm not going to judge it until the end of the window. Like, of course, you don't do that, right? And that's just me being a little bit of reactionary. And that's fair for me to do that. But we got told last week, there was meant to be a medical. We got told last week the next couple of days is going to be critical, which was actually Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, this is what I mean about Muppeteers saying certain pieces and certain information. That's why I don't believe them. They don't have sources, bro. They just don't. They had sources to United. It's bollocks. They're all playing a guessing game. No one knows what's going on right now with Mbeumo. And then we get a link today saying with Mbeumo as well that he's forcing a move out. Like, but didn't his what's it called, chairman or whoever it was, director of football, saying that he's happy to do another year there? I don't believe that he's gonna happy to do another year there. He's gonna want out. Of course, he's gonna want out. But I don't look at Mbeumo saying he's gonna force a move out. So even though it's in the title, I just don't believe it. Even in the title, because it's from flipping, I can't remember, is it Graham Bailey, right? I don't believe that's the case. Of course, if we get this one over the line, which I'm starting to doubt now, then it's a little bit sticky, isn't it? It's a little bit sticky. It's just annoying. Yeah, Brentford put the price up and we're negotiating, but the whole point is justice, right? It's the haggling. It's the haggling over a few million. And I understand that United's cash and the United's whole situation with money, right, is not the best. But they've lied to us before about the money. They've lied to us in the past. They said we had no cash reserves. They said we were broke. And I know Jim put in some as well. But I can't believe everything that's coming out of United's front when, you know, these journos or so-called experts in finances, yeah, didn't even look in the correct accounts in the first place. So, yeah, this whole haggling, this is what, when you see Arsenal, Berta, the way they're doing things, I wouldn't say Arsenal have an abundance of cash. It's an abundance of cash. I wouldn't say that. But guess what? Look at the way he's played the game. Without putting your eggs all in one basket, other than, like, let's say, Liverpool's way of doing things where they do things really early. Same thing with Man City, do things really early. Well, with Berta, you've got one and two options. You're talking to A and B, and then on the other side, in another position, you talk to A and B, and then you move for one, you pounce, whilst getting all the other eggs done. You know, all these other ones, like, let's say Douglas Luiz. Should have got in through the door then, if you're going to rely on sales and whatever else you may need. If you're so confident, Man United, by the way, we're so confident in selling Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, then you could still make these deals in confidence that you have got the full backing that they are going to leave. This is my frustration. It's the haggle over a few fucking million. Few million. It's deluded. And I'm allowed to be annoyed because I'm the one that's been playing the pro flipping gimmick the whole time. And I still am very positive. I'm just getting a little bit impatient. Just that little bit. By the way, if you can hear a tumble dryer in the background, let me know. So yeah, let me know if you can hear that in the background, because I'll go shut the door. Or you know what? Or ask someone. But yeah, look, that's my frustrations. Now, I feel like United's situation with the striker. Now, let's get on to the positive stuff, because I've had my rant. Please smash the likes, by the way. I'm on 83 likes. So if we can get to 100, 150, that would be sick. Ben, I know what Ben that is as well. If you want to put the Discord in the chat, then much appreciated. Fair play. It's looking really good for Arsenal at this moment in time. But for me, I said it before. United want to go down the Prem proven route. Fine. Ollie Watkins, I can accept that. But it always depends on how much. It's not on Amorim. You know why it's not on Amorim? Because we was never going to get Champions League anyways. So we would always get effed up in the long run. It's on Ineos. Like, we have to be honest with ourselves. Stop. I'm not blindly backing them all the time. I feel like I have a logical explanation for backing them. You know, it all stems from before even Ineos were in the door. But for me, it was the decision to keep Ten Hag that really effed us up. You know, not getting everything done on time, discussions, this gardening leave and A, B, and C. It's all to do with that as well. Like, it's been a little bit too shite, right? Anyways, whether we like it or not, I still believe Mbeumo's over the line. And I think a lot of you guys believe that Mbeumo's over the line. But it's after that. And we're seeing this Douglas Luiz stuff. It might look like that we're going for a central midfielder before we go for a striker, which, again, I'm not mad at. It just depends on which midfielder. But onto the positives, right? Now it narrows down what targets we can go and get in terms of the striker. You know, they already said don't rule out Šeško. Trust me when I say this, rule out Šeško, yeah? Because we're not getting this guy. We're not getting him because they ask him for something ridiculous like 67 million. United are haggling over a few million anyways. What do you think they're going to do when it comes down to that man there? So, yeah, I absolutely believe the only way we go and get Ollie Watkins, some people might call him Wally Watkins, right, is if Garnacho shifts, and that's the only way we get enough money to go and get him. That's it. It's not the worst in the world because, you know, I said this before. Mbeumo, Cunha, and Watkins guarantees you goals, guarantees you Premier League goals. It's not the best names in the world in terms of leading your line, right? But you get a decent preseason in, as Abu Bakar's saying as well. You get these guys in, and then guess what? The coach must coach. This is where I am at with the manager. Like, I am all for having Amorim as long as he's backed as well, but he's got to coach. You've got 3 great players, and it might not be breathtaking. Go and coach. We need to go get back into Europe, not Europa League. Go back into Champions League. Because if we get back into Champions League and we look more sustainable, then we can go and get the next best striker. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the case comes, because Ollie Watkins is getting a lot older, we can go get someone a lot younger that they can go and learn off of. Because Ollie Watkins' kind of movement is definitely elite, but his finishing is always going to be up for question. So we'll see what happens in the future. We can actually delay the next best thing. I don't know who it's going to be. It's not great. But as long as we go and get our targets, I don't mind. So that's it. That's it for me anyways. We'll see what happens in the future with all of that case. But I said that I don't mind Ollie Watkins just because it's the Prem proven gimmick. That's it. Let me get some of your comments in. By the way, there's loads of you in here. So don't you dare say Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because it was only the other day where he said his wage demands are absolutely infuriating. You man are actually going to go and get Tesco. Maybe, but I think the money's too much. I don't think we can afford that. I'll be honest. We got like other positions to go and get. We got transfer fee. We're in so much debt that I don't think people realize we can't go after Mbeumo's done. We can't do another 67 million signing. Yeah, you lot are taking the piss. Go and coach the same shit group players that finished. Yeah, that's another part. You can't just have the same group of players and Cunha. That's just nasty. Amorim should have been sacked 2 months ago. We can be involved in the ESAC race. That's a long way to go there, man. Let me get this with Nari Gevel. That's a good name. Euronrant's been talking this the whole time like Ineos are doing some chess move gangster shit in the transfer market while cussing teams that are finished above United. Rest of us know they are incompetent. I don't really cuss. I just have fun. You know, I'm not always going to have to be serious. Don't get me wrong. You can always be shameless whenever you do get a signing or you think something's going to happen. But look, man, I don't like being down for too long. There is no point. So for me, the way I like to do things is, look, I can sit in my bedroom and think about football, or I can watch football and think like down in the dumps, but I just don't work that way. I'd rather be positive and say, you know what, let's be a little bit optimistic. Let's see what a good preseason can do. Let's see what the manager can do. If he gets sacked, then so be it. It'll get sacked early if that's the case. And we'll see what players come in the door. Obviously, not one player only is going to come through the door. Like again, if Mbeumo is said to be forcing this move, which I do believe his camp is eager, but Brentford are staying firm with their price, and I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. Ben, I know Alice raided. Thank you very much. I said that at the start of the stream. You don't have to keep reminding me, my brother, but you are much appreciated. Big up to anyone wants to join the Discord as well. Cass, I think he needs to rely on the youth. Yeah, but what youth is the question. You know, when I looked at someone like Sekou Kone, yeah. Now, Ben, don't say sorry, you donut. You're just being nice. When you look at Sekou Kone's going, you can see the abundance of ability. The issue is it's like, how much can you rely on that? So, yeah. Where's Wally? No, it's where's Mbeumo. I understand that, yeah. At this point, start Cheeto. No, at this point, I think, look, I think the manager's going to have to maybe assess his options as well. You know, I do believe we're going to go and get a central midfielder. I think a central midfielder at this point, if you get Mbeumo over the line, it might be a little bit more important than the striker situation. Because I look at someone like Xerxes, I look at someone like Cunha, and I feel like you can make that work. You know, you're playing one game a week. You can still, that's a very balanced front three. You know, everyone's going to create for one another. You're going to get the best out of one another, right? But that's where you got to look at what's going backwards is that central midfield option. Who's going to do that job where they're going to cover defensively, let alone be a bit more of a playmaker? So I don't know where you lot stand with that, but that's where I'm kind of at the moment. Obviously, we need that option because we've seen Xerxes get injured, right? So on that whole consensus, if there's no midfielder, we're going to collapse, period. And with this whole Douglas Luiz talk, so Matteo Moretto coming out saying, you know, United have actually been in negotiations with him for the last 2-3 months, and United have reignited interest and gone back in for him as the front runner over the likes of Everton and whoever else that was named to go and get his signature. So on there, I think Douglas Luiz is the best to go for. You know what? Actually, how about this? In my mind, I would actually go and get Richard Ríos and Douglas Luiz. I think that combination together is actually better than whatever we compare, and that's only going to cost you around 45 to 50 million. You know, so if you're not going to go and spend on a striker, go get 2 central midfielders. That changes our whole outlook completely, by the way. Energy, you know, ball carrying as well, which is elite, and obviously passing. But I don't know why you lot keep rubbishing Douglas Luiz. Why would you rubbish Douglas Luiz? I reckon with Juventus, maybe you can go get what my man said right then in Halinator. Maybe Luiz can be alone with an option. That would be United's best bet to see how he actually does perform back in the Prem. He's had one bad season. If he's had one bad season, that must mean Foden is shit, Erdegaard is shit. You know, all these players that have been injured or been injury prone, they must be shit. And it's one game a week, so you can definitely build off of that. I know Ríos has a clause, but they're open and willing to sell him for 20 to 25 million. All players have release clauses. No, get Timothy Weah for what? Why would you get Timothy Weah from Juventus? No. Cass, some have Esugo on loan, broski. What's that? Oh, you're talking about that striker. Some experience. You're taking the piss. Yeah, Douglas Luiz is a fine player. He's a quality player. Again, it gives us another element of playmaking, another thing that we don't have, another dead ball specialist. If United decide to go for him, I'm over the moon. With other players that we've been linked with in the past, like this Tashari guy from Belgium, who's a playmaker, but when it comes to off the ball, he's absolute shite, by the way. All these bullshit links. If we're going to go down the route of that, how can you not acknowledge what he done at Villa? It was only a season ago. You know, it wasn't that long ago. He was doing stuff. He got a couple injuries. Yeah, fine. Not mad ones either. He lost his... Obviously, he's clearly a lover boy. I keep saying it every single damn video. Guy has to see his girl walking around with her new girlfriend while he's heartbroken, while he's not too busy going up in the clubs trying to get his sausage wet, basically, you know? He just needs to come back to Manchester, or, you know, because he was there originally before at Manchester City, And yeah, man, get moving. Go find someone new. There's a bunch of different girls in Manchester, man. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. The youths don't know the quality of Douglas. Technically sound, high IQ player. Exactly, Don Dada, man. Exactly. Whoever plays next to Bruno will drown and look bad. Polo FC next season. It could be, man. You kill me with some of your statements, bro. Oh god, I can't focus, man. All I can think about is why is Gyökeres not coming to Man United? Yeah, anyway, I didn't want to say it like that. You lot can say it like that. But yeah, look, United need to get a shift. That's all I can say. But you know what? I need to talk about this, Richard Ríos. I was gonna go live yesterday, and I didn't get to. I was really tired, right? And I just wanted to chill out. So I was gonna go live this morning, but I thought it's Sunday. Who gives a shit, right? I'll go live later. When you look at someone like that, I think he's actually probably a better option for Bruno. Like Douglas Luiz is definitely athletic, but it's the amount of area that Richard Ríos covers. And I saw against Chelsea how good he can really be against a Premier League side. And I know it's a one-off game, but he really ran the show. It was a really tight game in the middle. Defensively, he's definitely better than Luiz. And we've seen him pretty much drive up the field where he probably does his best work. You know, a little bit more like a high presser, something that Agate done last season. And if you can get someone like that, that's an elite ball carrier, and you can see his numbers. You can see his numbers for yourself as well. And even his passing range, he's got that in his locker. It's like, how do you not go for someone like this? He's a good height. Was he like 6'1", something along them lines? Super athletic, by the way. Fast. My only issue with him is how good he will be in the first phase, whereas Douglas Luiz is probably he's at least a lot more tidy, you know, and maybe even getting over to players. I think Richard Ríos would be a lot more quicker. If United have got these two as options, surely then you must go for the one that's going to be more Premier League proven. It only makes sense, less risk. I think United's whole gimmick, which you can see with a lot of these options that we have been linked with, is less risk. If Bruno Fernandes is going to be the one that picks up the ball from literally from the first phase in terms of like in the sixth, then we're in trouble. We're in real trouble. I think United's transfer window really went wrong, and I think most of United fans might be able to see at this point. I know Bruno Fernandes might be the love of your lives, some of you, yeah, but you have to see the bigger picture. If he was told that you're not wanted at United and you can go to Saudi, we would have taken at least 100 million. That could have been accepted. 100 million of cash, which that therefore means we could do whatever we wanted in this window. And Mbeumo would have got done years ago. The midfielder would have got done years ago. The striker situation would have got done now. So that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like every time you're trying to think of a partner for Bruno, this is why my issue is like, who is that? Because why are we trying to shoehorn him in for a particular type of player rather than having an absolute pivot that works properly? I know Bruno's gave a lot for the club, and I'm not denying that. It's just you've got to look at Manchester United first more than Bruno FC. That's it. I like Bruno. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate him. He's still one of our better players. But sometimes I reckon you have to sell your better player so you can get a great pivot that matches. You know, you need like I don't like the player, but you need like an Amadou Onana to get next to him. That's unrealistic. Trying to find that profile is super unrealistic. And then right now, if you're gonna throw your hat in the bag, the only one I can actually think of right now is Richard Ríos, and he looks more like a box to box than a 6. And that's more of an 8. It does look like more of an 8. And I do like his defensive capabilities. His recoveries is super wicked. You see the tackle we put on Andre Santos. You're like, yeah, man, that's a bit of me. I need a bit of that. But look, let's see what partner we get for him. It could literally be Douglas Luiz and Bruno Fernandes, and it's difficult to get the ball off them. And we're doing a lot of playmaking from deep. That could be the case. I don't want to oversell it and I don't want to undersell it, but I'm not super optimistic like the next Man United fan. And I don't mind if you say, oh, how can you hate him? It's not, I didn't say I don't hate him. It's just, we are in much of a bigger situation. And I think we comprehended before this whole window even started. And now you understand the realities of us haggling over for fucking few million. And that's not down to Ineos. That's United. That's how much we've got available. Yeah, Ríos is an 8. Ríos is an 8. He's an 8. I don't think he's a 6. We need a 6/8. He likes to drive. I don't know if he's disciplined enough to keep his position in the 6, but I would love it. If you're going to get 2 for the price of 50, then, mate, you go and get that. Then all of a sudden, you bolster your midfield. You still got Casemiro around. Just go put Toby Collier on loan. Or keep him around then. Let him learn off some of these lot. I think Douglas Luiz is definitely more of a 6/8. I don't think he's totally a 6, but it's a great pivot. You know, we talk about Ederson. Ederson can still happen if United still get everything needed, but it's too much of a perfect scenario waiting for Rashford to get 40 million out of him. I don't think we're going to get money for him. I think he's going to go on loan. That's honestly, that hand on heart, I think that's what's going to happen. And then also the case with Jadon Sancho, that could just be money used for one of them players. You know, so it's just it is that Goku. It is like that. It's sad. It's a sad reality, but gotta do what you gotta do, man. It is really at this point labeling the downfall of United. This is it. Like this is it. When it says how far have United fallen, this is how far we've really fallen. But that's why the coach has got a coach. Go get some players. Go back him. Ineos got a lot of work to do. You get this Mbeumo over the line, a lot of us will be a lot more happy. And then it's like on to the next targets. How quick can you get rid of Sancho? How quick can you get rid of Garnacho? Because we ain't seen nothing on him. The whole key, the catalyst to our whole window right now is, in my opinion, is selling Rashford for money and selling Garnacho for money. Then we could do a lot more. But that's just Barcelona are just weird. Why are we all banking on Barcelona to do something, correct? They can't even register players. So how are they going to register flipping Marcus Rashford? They want to put money up for Nico Williams. They want to put money up for flipping Luis Diaz. But they don't want to put money up for Marcus Rashford. Everyone's taking the piss out of us. It's like everyone is literally, it's like Marvel, right? Like the end game. It's like all of these fuckers, yeah, have come together to come and defeat Thanos finally, once and for all. We are the original Thanos. And we're getting destroyed. All of our players, you see Gittins, 50-odd million. You've seen all these players for all these millions, but Garnacho, who I don't think is worse than Gittins, is worth less. Why? How? He in a good market where United are doing well in a different reality, but they're having a good season. They're saying, yeah, we'll sell Garnacho. We're open to selling Garnacho. They'll give 60 million. They'll give 65 million. We're not rated at all. We're not rated at all, and it's so fucking boring. I don't even know how us content creators churn out flipping content to even talk about. But yeah, look. When you're getting beaten to players from Arsenal, you know there's something wrong. There's something wrong. In a world where Gyökeres has come out and said, I'd rather join Arsenal than Manchester United, like regardless of name, just goes to show I don't want to, basically saying, I don't want to join a shit team. I can't risk joining a shit team. I'm 27 years of age. I want to go and potentially win the big boy trophies. So whoever's selling this project to United, from United, is clearly not good enough, is it? And that's actually the truth. Only some players want to come to us, but they're going from top club to top club. That's another one. We're not getting Ekatike. I don't even know why his name was ever brought up in the first place. You know, we can't afford him. We can't do anything after Mbeumo. We can't do anything. Cass, any chance for Osimhen? No. We don't want to pay his alleged wages either. I think he's the perfect player. I wanted him over Gyökeres in the first place because he's a lamppost, good in the air, strong. I need that, but we can't afford that. Collier's average, bad passer, lacks awareness. I don't know about that lack awareness part of it. That's a bit of a bad. He's a very average passer, but he's not average. He covers a lot of ground. Trust me, if we give Amram a full season, he will get us relegated. I don't know about relegation. Yeah, right now it's looking awful, man. But by the way, people, there's nearly 700 in the house. I hope every one of you are subscribed to my channel. So if you have got an account, it's a good chance right now. So you do know when the next video goes out. I do try to do pre-records as well. I do run another channel as well. So on top of that, if you haven't done so yet, get your opinions in because it's always important. And yeah, subscribe, man. And the likes are nearly on 200. Did I get a super chat? Pedro Gonçalves is the perfect Bruno upgrade. Not an 8, isn't. He's more of a 10. And he's slow. So what? Wait, what's this? So what good time we're coming and I don't know what that. Can you repeat that if you don't mind? Cass, would you do never a foul at all abroad like United stand? Yeah, if we had lots of backing and we had loads of money to to obviously, you know, a lot of money to I don't know, spend on A, B, and C. You know, we don't make that much money. People actually, you know what? Fair reality is, when it comes to YouTube, I promise you, yeah. If you don't see like 15k per video, let's just say that you're not earning that much. If you're getting straight 15 plus Ks or 13 plus K, like all the time on all videos, pre-uploads, you know that they're earning a decent amount that the average person does. So that's a good way to look at it. I promise you. How are Chelsea allowed to register all these new players? FFP who? Just pay the fine and move on. I don't know. With Chelsea, they trimmed down a lot of their squad, you know, by the way. A lot of their squad, and a lot of them are young. So when it comes down to registering young players, you're allowed to. Big up Super Arc says, if Greenwood takes the Saudi deal, we get a few mil. I don't think he will, though. I didn't even know he's linked with Saudi. If that's the case, then yeah. I know we're going to be all right if Elanga leaves and then Alvaro Fernandez. I think we'll be all right in the long run. It's just the fact that we've got pre-season in 13 days against Leeds. That's our first, I think, in Sweden. I think it's in Sweden. I keep getting it wrong. And we've only got one over the line. The pre-season starts tomorrow for, well, the training, which ain't the worst in the world. But ideally, you want to get Mbeumo settled, ready for the pre-season. And then moving on to the next targets. You know, you've got less players now in Garnacho. So when he was part of the whole setup, you've got less players now. Eriksen's left. So that was also part of the whole setup. You've got less players now because Lindelof has also left. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, when you think of the squad is going down, but it's going to take a long time. A long time. I'm sorry. Like, when you think of what Barada said about United, saying, oh, we're going to look and aim to win in, I don't know, in year 2028. That sounds like absolute bollocks when you're hearing that from this part and this point of view, isn't it? In the next year, though, never say never. It could be a good situation. Wait, let me see. What's this? I just see something about Marcus Rashford. Man said team talk. I don't want to hear about team talk. Someone's asking me. Let me see this about Marcus Rashford. Come out 18 minutes ago. Henry Winter. Okay. Marcus Rashford has not asked to leave the club, talking absolute bullshit, but he's accepted he's not a part of Ruben Amorim's plans. He knows he has to leave. He knows he has to leave to start playing again. A move abroad looks like the next step. Like, we already know that. What the hell? This is what I mean about these flipping updates. Look, what do you mean he's not asked to leave the club? He done a whole video with Henry Winter asking for a new challenge. Look, I'm all for Rashford and trying to back that he gets abused by the United fan base, and it's disgusting the amount of abuse he gets. He can literally give millions to charity and they say, well, why have you got a fucking house that's worth 10 million? It's stupid, right? But what do you mean you ain't asked to leave the club? There's a whole video, you absolute fucking moron. What a moron. Honestly, he thinks we're stupid. He must think we're stupid. Apparently, I can't listen and I can't hear what he's saying. You know what? Where's the video? Where's the video? Am I allowed to play the video, or is it going to get copyrighted? This guy's an absolute moron, changing his fucking mind every 2 minutes. Oh, 1 minute I'm a left winger, next minute I'm a striker. Oh, you know what? I'm a right winger again. You know what? In 2 years' time, I'll do a fucking interview with Gary Neville saying, you know what? I'm enjoying the number 9 role just so I can go and play under fucking Hansi Flick because I've got nowhere else to go. He sounds like he's homeless at this point. Idiot. And then we think with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know what? Bring him back. I think since yesterday, United got the news that Gyökeres is joining Arsenal. That's why we're linked to Calvert-Lewin. It's reluctant Nico. Who is that? Disgusting play by Arsenal. And it is nasty, to be fair, as hell, you know. Henry Winter is a disgrace. He's just the mouthpiece for this man. I just don't get it. These players, like, we're fucking, we're actually a circus. We're actually a circus. No one's heard where Garnacho wants to go. He says he wants to stay in the Premier League, but no one in the Premier League wants him. So what are you still doing here? Sancho wants to leave the club, but he doesn't want to accept no one else's wages. What the fuck? And then you got Rashford saying, I never asked to leave the club. What do you mean? You done a whole video on it, bro. What are you on about? You asked to leave. You even took out Man United out of your whole flipping bio. What do you mean you haven't asked to leave? It's kind of obvious. Come on, man. Come on. And who else there? Anthony. You know what? He's the only one that I feel like, you know what? Respect. Respect. Yeah, I'm having a crash out. I'm actually crashing out. I need to chill out. I need to crash. Oh. Chill out. It's just football. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game, man. It's just a game, man. I don't know what. I see, bro. There's more important things in life to crash out over than football. Do you know what I mean? This is what I mean when we say we take life for granted. Like, there is much more pressing matters in the world. I just can't stand it. Everyone's playing Manchester United, and that means if you're playing Manchester United, you're playing my heart, man. It's nasty. I had one of the best days of my life on Friday. Some of you may know, yeah. I had, like, honestly, it's everything that we wanted for a minute. Now the other love of my life, Manchester United, is now taking a piss. Gyökeres drops. I'm not allowed. You know what it is? I've kind of realized I'm not a very lucky guy, like, in general. My happiness is not allowed to stay around. When I'm at peak happiness, it's not allowed to stay around for that long. It really isn't. It really isn't. Anyway, let me see how many subscribers. Let me see if the subscriber count's gone up. I don't even know if it has or not, but let's have a little check. I can kind of have a little guess. It's gone up a little bit. Fair play. All right. Calm. No, I'm not married. Not yet, but inshallah, yeah. Smash the likes. What likes are we on? Amazing. You know what? You know what I need? I need food. A good meal will go a long way. Maybe I should stop streaming. I'm going to be back later. Fuck it. Who's live? I think Ches is live, right? You know what? I don't even subscribe to him. I think he's live with. Can someone get Ches? Oh, is Ches live? Yeah, Ches is live. Let's go redirect to Ches, man. Anyways, we need that bomber ASAP. If you support Arsenal, you can go suck out. If you support Chelsea, Esteval shit. And if you support Liverpool, you're just scummy anyway. So who cares? In a bit, love. Yeah, later. I'm gonna be back later.